Hi everyone, it's Vicki from Minerva. I'm here to share with you my top fabric picks for the Minerva Exclusive Savannah Dress pattern. So the Savannah dress is a gorgeous knit dress pattern. It has a cocoon bubble silhouette, so that's its main standout feature. It has princess seam lines, it has pockets integrated into those, it has a grown on sleeve with a round neckline. So quite a simple dress, but definitely one that there's lots of different types of fabrics you can make it in. So we suggest on the pattern to use a medium to heavyweight knit fabric, a stable knit that has moderate stretch. So all these fabrics that I've got to share with you today are those types of fabrics, although I do have a wild card in here as well to share with you at the end. But there's a huge variety of different base cloths here and different fibres as well, that will all bring something slightly different to the Savannah dress. So as I chat through these fabrics with you, we'll talk about the fabric's different characteristics, different properties, and how that's going to affect the look and feel of your Savannah dress when it's made up. So hopefully all these suggestions that I've got will give you loads of ideas, loads of inspiration on different fabrics to make your Savannah dress in. So let's get stuck into the fabrics. So the first fabric, if you asked me to think of the perfect fabric, what would be the first one that came in my head for the Savannah? That would definitely be our Minerva Exclusive French Terry fabric. And that's actually the fabric that we've got this version on the mannequin here sewn up in. It just works so well in this French Terry. It's the perfect weight, perfect stability, and it just works so well for the Savannah. So here I've got a sample to hold out and show you. So this, like I say, it's our Minerva exclusive range of French Terry fabrics, and this particular design is called Urban Cheetah. It's this gorgeous animal print. Now French Terry fabric, if you haven't come across it before, on the front it looks like a jersey, but on the back it has little loop textures on the back, which add to sort of like the thickness and the weight of the fabric. So it's a little bit heavier than a regular jersey, but it's not so thick as like say a sweatshirt fabric, a fleece back sweatshirt for example. So we think that it's the first fabric that comes to mind, and when we were sampling this pattern, it just worked so well in the French Terry. It comes in lots of different prints on our website, and we do also have French Terry core ranges on Minerva as well. So if you wanted just a plain solid colour rather than a print, we have every colour under the rainbow, every colour you can imagine available in French Terry as well. So you've loads of options there on the website. The next fabric, again, if you're asking me what would be your first fabrics you think of for this pattern, the next one I would think of would be Pontarama. So Pontarama is a stable knit fabric. It only has moderate stretch, it's not super stretchy, it's just the perfect sort of weight really for the Savannah dress. So this particular fabric is our soft Pontarama, and it has viscose content in there, which makes it just feels beautifully soft. This is one of our core ranges, so it comes in loads of different colours on the website. I thought this lilac was particularly lovely, but there's every colour you can imagine in it. And we do actually have quite a few different core range Pontaramas available on Minerva. So they all have slightly different weights. We have like a brushed finish one. We have one that's more of a budget range that's made of polyester, for example. We have more sort of like luxurious ones that have like tensile fibres and lyocell fibres. But all of them, a Pontarama double knit fabric, they would all be fabulous for the Savannah. We also have lots of prints on the site as well, so if you want something patterned, we've loads and loads of different options on there. The next fabric I've got, so this is another stable knit, medium to heavyweight fabric, and this is a Scuba fabric. So Scuba fabrics are generally synthetic fabrics that have an element of elastane or spandex in there, and they have, when you feel the fabric, if you've never felt it before, you might need to feel it to sort of understand what I mean by this, but they almost have like a bounce about them. So it has, it has enough body and structure that gives it like a little bit of bounce, and that sort of moderate stretch, stability and body that this fabric has makes it ideal for the Savannah, because again it's going to really hold the shape of that slight cocoon bubble. This particular one is our Scuba core range fabric here at Minerva, so it comes in loads of different colours, but again we have loads of prints on the site as well, so there's loads of choice. But yeah, Scuba's definitely a great option. You know, it's a fabric that doesn't crease much, it's great for travelling in. Yeah, so that's another option that you could choose for the Savannah dress. The next one we've got is something definitely a little bit more fancy, yeah, a little bit more sort of dressed up, and yeah, you could sort of elevate the pattern into something, you know, for more special occasions with this. And this is our Minerva Exclusive Crush Velvet fabric, and isn't that just absolutely fabulous? Look how it catches the light there. Now you can see with this fabric, so this definitely has a little bit more drape, so it's not as stable as the other fabrics that we've looked at so far, so that will definitely change the feel of the dress a little bit when you're wearing it. And don't forget, you can always look on the Savannah dress product page on Minerva, and if you scroll down you'll be able to see all the versions that the Minerva sewing community have made using the pattern in all different fabrics, so you can see how it looks made in, you know, a slightly less stable knit or a more stable heavier knit. But yeah, it definitely, because of that, the slight element of, you know, drape that this fabric will bring, and you know, the fact that it's a velvet as well, it definitely gives it a more dressed up feel. The drapey element will mean, like on the sleeves for example, you know, these will hang a little bit sort of straighter, and they won't stand quite so proud, and the bubble cocoon shape will hang a little bit more on the body. You know, it's a slightly different look and feel, but equally as gorgeous. So this is our Minerva Exclusive Crush Velvet fabric. And we do have different velvets available on the site, but velvet fabrics come in knits and wovens, and you need to make sure that you definitely choose a knit for the Savannah. And it needs to be a heavy enough knit ideally as well. You don't want anything too soft and unstable. But the Minerva Exclusive range is perfect. With it, yeah, it's a medium to heavyweight fabric. Yeah, that's just, you know, it's got enough body and enough sort of structure in there to work for the pattern. Now the next fabric I've got, so this is a jersey fabric. So this is our heavy cotton jersey. So it's a cotton and elastane blend. This is one of our Minerva core ranges, so it comes in loads of colours, but I thought this rust colour was really lovely. But yeah, every colour you can imagine in this fabric. Now this is we do different cotton jerseys in our core range at Minerva, and this is our heavier version. And as we've listed in the pattern, in the suggested fabrics in the pattern, if you're going to choose a jersey, we would recommend a slightly heavier weight jersey, just to, you know, to hold the shape of the style of the pattern. So this one is ideal for that. It's just, you know, it's just got a little bit more weight to it than some of the other jerseys that we stock. And this is definitely going to make a more summery Savannah dress. You know, with it being cotton and light and breathable. Yeah, and with it just being lighter weight than some of the other options that we've looked at so far. But still, you know, enough body to hold the shape. It's just going to make a more summery version. The next fabric I've got, so this is definitely going back more to sort of making the dress for more transitional times or to wear through the winter, and this is our Minerva Exclusive Sweatinet fabric. So Sweatinets are fabrics that when you look up close, they almost look like they could have been hand knitted. Of course they're not, they're made on a machine, but they have that hand knitted feel to them. So, you know, they're quite a loosely knitted base cloth. You can see the stitches of the knit stitches that have made up the fabric. And this particular print is called Bubble Shawl. It's one of our Minerva exclusive designs, but we have different prints in this range. And yeah, it's a lovely, lovely base cloth for this pattern. Again, a little bit like the velvet, it has a little bit more drape than some of the options we've looked at, but it still has enough body and enough weight for the Savannah dress. It's just going to make a slightly softer feeling dress, you know, that will hang a little bit more, you know, like I said, the shoulder, sorry, the grown on sleeves there, you know, will just hang a little bit more, things like that. But yeah, it'd be a gorgeous, gorgeous fabric to use, and the knitted sort of look and feel and characteristics of this fabric mean that it's, you know, it's just great for transitional times, because It's still not too hot and warm to wear, but it just has a more cosy feel to it. So yeah, that's another really gorgeous option. The next three fabrics I've got are all definitely more a little bit heavier in weight. So these again would be certainly suited to more sort of like the transitional months or the colder months of the year. Just when you want something a little bit more cosy, a little bit more snug. The first one, so this is one of our textured knit fabrics. And this is our cable textured knit, really, really popular fabric here at Minerva. It's a core range again, we stock it all year round, and it comes in every colour you can imagine, loads of different colours. And it has, with this one, it has a really gorgeous sort of snuggly feel to it. It definitely has, you know, it has good weight, it's definitely sort of in like the medium to heavy weight category. But it's not too stiff or structured. You know, like I said at the beginning, you don't want any fabric that's too stiff or structured because it, you know, it would feel too boxy. And as well, you need fabric with enough stretch as well. You know, it needs to have moderate stretch, which this fabric does. With this fabric, with the cable sort of design running through it, you know, you would want to take that into account, and you know, perhaps just have a little bit more careful placement of your pattern pieces. But yeah, it would just be a gorgeous fabric, and that cable textured sort of cosy, snuggly feel, I think would just be perfect for the autumn, winter months. Yeah, and like I say, every colour imaginable is available in that fabric. Next up, so this is a Mind the Maker fabric, and so that's the brand, Mind the Maker, and it's an organic jacquard textured knit fabric. So this is another textured knit, which if I hold it out there, so it's actually a jacquard knit, which means that the pattern, so this sort of like almost like an animal print sort of pattern, is actually knitted into the fabric rather than being printed on, and it does give it a wonderful sort of depth and dimension to the fabric. It's really, really lovely. Now this does come in a few different colours as well, just a handful of colours, and yeah, it's just a lovely weight. It's got a lovely amount of body, a reasonable amount of structure, and yeah, I think that would be a really lovely option for the Savannah as well. Really, really lovely. The next fabric we've got, so this is definitely the thickest and the cosiest fabric, and is the thickest I would go for the Savannah. This is definitely going to make a wintry dress, something that's going to feel really cosy and snug. You know, so really it's going to be the opposite of sort of like working with one of the velvet fabrics. You know, this is going to hold its shape, hold the structure of that sleeve. You know, it's going to hold the cocoon, but it will be so soft and warm and snuggly to wear. So you know, that might be something that you would like to sew. So this one is our polycotton fleece back sweatshirt fabric. So from the front it looks really just like a jersey fabric, but from the back, hopefully you can see there, I mean, it is so soft and cosy and snuggly. It feels absolutely amazing, and of course with that being the back of the fabric, it means that that's against your skin. So for a wintry dress that's going to keep you warm, this would just be absolutely gorgeous. Now this has moderate stretch, and it's definitely, you know, in more the heavier weights. It's definitely the sort of the thickest fabric that I've got to share with you today. So as you can see, the drape isn't quite as much, so it's definitely going to hold the shape and structure of your Savannah dress more. So it's just something to take into account, you know, when choosing what fabric you want to make yours in. This is one of our core ranges here at Minerva, so it comes in every imaginable colour in a solid, but we also have lots of prints on the site as well. So if you did want a patterned fabric, but you really love the idea of using a soft, cosy fleece back sweatshirt in, then we've loads of options on the website for you. Now the last fabric I've got to share with you today, so this is definitely a wild card, because it's not actually, you know, one of the types of fabrics that we recommend for this pattern. Now it's still a knit fabric, but this is actually a viscose jersey. So it's one of our Minerva Exclusive viscose jersey fabrics. This particular print is called Floral Resort, but we've loads and loads of different designs on the website, and we do have core range plain viscose jerseys as well. So why this fabric is a wild card, it's because, as you can see, It's very soft, very drapey. It's definitely not a stable knit, which is what the pattern recommends. This is definitely an unstable knit fabric, because as you can see, it has huge amounts of stretch and it's very, very soft and fluid and drapey. So you might think, why am I suggesting this one? Well, we've actually made a sample up in this type of fabric, and again, like I say, if you look on Minerva, you'll be able to see loads of different versions made up in all different fabrics, so you can see how, you know, they look actually made up. And yes, it definitely creates a different feel for the dress, but it's equally beautiful. It definitely makes a more summery version of the Savannah, and it's softer, you know, so and it's more drapey. So those where the shoulders here hold the shape, they don't in a viscose jersey, and the cocoon bubble shape definitely hangs a bit straighter. So it's just a different look and feel, but it's definitely something you could experiment with. And if you were thinking of making the Savannah dress, you know, to take on holiday with you, or to wear, you know, in the times of the year when it's it's sunnier and you need something cool and breathable and just lighter weight on the body, this could be a really lovely option for you. It's just, you know, something to bear in mind that, you know, because you're using something slightly different than what the pattern has been designed for, you know, it is going to change the look and feel of the garment made up. But yeah, the sample we sold was gorgeous, and like I said, head over to Minerva to have a look at loads of different versions made up by the community. It's really, really inspiring. So that's all the 10 fabrics that I had to share with you today. So I hope you found that inspiring, and it's give you loads of ideas, you know, on the sorts of fabrics, fibres and base cloths that you can choose for your Savannah dress. Do let me know in the comments below which was your favourite, and which sort of fabric are you thinking for your Savannah? Are you thinking something more dressed up, something more casual, a more summery version, a more wintry version? I'd love to hear from you in, you know, your plans, you know, what you're thinking of making in the for the Savannah dress. As always, I'll tag all the fabrics and the pattern below this video, so if you're interested in any of the fabrics or the pattern itself, you can find those easily on Minerva. Please do give this video a like and a follow. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope it was really helpful and, you know, inspiring for you, and giving you lots of ideas, and hopefully, you know, just expanding your horizons really on the types of base cloths that you can actually use for the Savannah. You know, there's just in these 10 alone, there's so much variety there, and there's so much choice on our website between all these 10 different types of base cloths. So hopefully that's give you loads of ideas. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will be back again soon with more fabric and sewing goodness.